I use a tone control. I mean, it's like I think a lot of guitar players, I don't know why they don't use the tone control on the guitar, because there's a lot of available tones just on the guitar. And it really helps when you're playing amps that you're not familiar with, because if you have an amp that you're familiar with, you can generally, leave the tone up to, on 10 or, maybe a little bit less. And you can get your sound with the amp. But like in our case, we just did a 5-week tour of Europe, and we're flying around playing different backline every day. And some of the backlines is like super bright. And for me, it's like guitarist, it's like, it's one thing to hear a great guitar player, but if the sound is too bright and it's like, killing birds as they fly by the PA. I mean, I think there's something self-defeating about that. So I've always tried to, ratchet down the treble and try to get a warm sound. Now, thanks to Continental Airlines, we have no toggle switch today, so it's kind of stuck on the lead pickup, so it's a good demonstration. And so what you do is you just basically, even at full, volume on the guitar, you can roll your tone down to like 5. And where I learned that? I learned the whole thing. My dad played me the Farewell Cream concert, 1968. And you see a very young, psychedelic Eric Clapton with his very strange-looking SG in front of like a Marshall stack. And he's telling you, going, well, you get so many different tones on the guitar. And like, I see him turn the tone down. And like, all of a sudden, it goes from like really bright, which, some of those early super leads were, and he's jacked into the, bright channel. And like, it goes from like really bright to like, there's the cream sound. And I was like, how did they do that? And then you like look really close. He's on the treble pickup, and he just rolls his tone off, and it's like there's the sound. And it's like for me, from that day forward, I was like, there's a lot of available, sounds that the guitar can give you if you just choose to, try it. The tone pots vary slightly, and some of them work really well, especially on a Strat. They work really well, and some of them don't work at all. It just depends on the frequency that you're rolling off. You want to roll off anywhere. Not to get overly technical about it, for me, the best ones is anywhere between like 700 hertz and 1K. That's really the one, that you accentuate those frequencies and you roll off all your top, your 2K, 5K stuff that makes it really kind of harsh. These are, historic Les Pauls, but these are standard issue like CTS, 500K pots. Right. But this one's a particularly good one, and we can get really involved in like trying to swap them out, but it's like I operate on the close enough theory. Does this sound close enough? Yes, let's go. Once you get used to a certain thing, it really, it really does make a difference. And you can feel it's not so much the hearing of the, you can hear it through the amp. It's more like it's the reaction of the guitar, and the feel of it. If you have a good amp that's like sounding good, like today with the 28 knob Marshall, it's quite lovely. And but if you have like a good amp that feels good to you, you're playing better because there's some resistance to it, and there's like you feel like there's a bottom floor and something to kind of build on. Like, well, I have a lot of problem when they people start building like 8-watt amps, 10-watt amps, 12-watt amps, because the problem is it's like they compress and they collapse so fast, and there's no headroom, there's no clean headroom. So it's like when you roll the, I'm a big fan of rolling the volume down to like 5 and like having it clean up and and not have like uber saturation. And that's I think a real point, and you find some amps that have that kind of thing. It's really important to have good, pots and stuff that's actually working for you, because you'll play better. And most of the audience will never hear the difference, but you'll feel more confident in what you're playing, and that really is a big difference. If you're out there struggling with sound, it's a horrible, lonely feeling.